Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drinkwing Gaming. As some of y'all know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Devil's Gambit. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Are you having fun? At the party, I mean. Yes, I'm glad we have so many people this year. For the better part of these last 9 years, I've had a solid image of Cadgan. I thought I knew him as well, if not better than himself. Sure, sometimes he did things I didn't understand, but I knew his favorite foods and games, the way he preferred to sit down, and just how hot any given day had to be for him to want to get into the river. A glance was enough to tell how he was feeling. A smirk was all I needed to guess what he was up to. Now that image lies shattered at my feet. As I pick up the pieces and try to put them back together, at times they form something similar to that boy from 9 years ago, only for him to vanish again when I put the next piece in place. Even then I could tell he was happy earlier today, that he still is now. His blue eyes don't lie. They never did. But then, why does he sound so unsure? I didn't imagine Teresa would invite even Ricardo. That was bold. Was she worried? A little, I think. As another breeze passes us, Rannai's many arms rock back and forth, shaking their leaves, and alongside that is the sound of the wooden frogs colliding with nearby branches or against each other. Wooden frogs? Aaron said your little friends have names. One of them doesn't happen to be called Hector, right? Cadgan raises an eyebrow and follows my gaze to the frogs. I considered it, but no. I thought... He scratches his ear. I'd be embarrassed if I had a wooden frog named after you next time you visited. Oh. I'm sorry. Why? I should have come back sooner. I wish I could have, but... For the longest time, I didn't think I deserved to. I just stayed in Oblin, waiting to die from the plague like everybody else. Cadgan stares at me, wide-eyed, as I confess such a dark and terrible thought. It's only after I've said it that it dawns on me. Those words that once dragged me to the darkest nightmares now come out so naturally. Should I be thankful that Rannai pulled them out of me once? Should I feel bad that I told a demon before sharing them with the man who rightfully deserved to hear them? It hits me. The shame. God, Hector, you really fucked it up. But I can tell him the truth still. If not for mine, then for his benefit. It's true. I was waiting to die. I was sure it would come soon enough. That thought could not leave my mind, not after I saw my father's body, and his mind fading right in front of me. I kept going. I held on to my scalpel, but in my mind, it was already dead, and I stayed that way for a long time. The very thought that you could see me like that made me so ashamed. More than that, if I were to die, I'd hope that you'd remember me by our happy childhood memories. I was ashamed of myself, and the world we live in, of the plague and what it tore out of me, of the future I imagined, which could never come true. All the promises left behind. Even though I knew it would be easier for you to return to your normal life, that you could use a friend by your side, you'd be better off not knowing who or what I became. I'm sorry, Cadgan. I should have visited sooner. I should have let you know what had happened. I shouldn't have allowed the shame to rule me. Cadgan remains taken aback, barely breathing, immobile except for a twitching ear, all while still sitting on his tiny swing. And there we stand, silent, as the sun continues its descent, adding the colors of nostalgia to the sky. I look away to the path back to Rannai, then down to my hands, waiting for a response. Almost a minute passes before Cadgan brushes his fur back, eyes almost closed. His ear settles down, and when I look to him, I see such a peace on his face. One I've never seen before. And when he speaks, his voice is bassy and full-bodied, as if it came from a place much deeper within. Ooh, that's great art, damn. You don't have to apologize. I'm happy that you're here now. Long and twisted as our paths may have been, you are here. Are you really? Aren't you mad? The look of utter peace remains, but new details are taking shape. Profound exhaustion, as if the very act of existing was an unbearable effort. A part of me was angry, yes. At times, like on the anniversary of your first visit, I felt so sure you would be coming soon. That you had to be just over the horizon making your way back. There'd be a reason why you didn't come sooner. Why you never sent a letter. Something had happened. Surely, it all makes sense. But you wouldn't arrive. The days would pass. Your birthday or mine would come, or pen bars, and I'd be waiting again, asking if any carriages came to town. I feel sad at the thought that you had forgotten me when what we had was so unforgettable to me. I got angry when the idea crossed my mind that maybe I never meant much to you. But I always believed that that couldn't be it. That you must have had a good reason to not visit. I couldn't let go of that hope. Sometimes I wished I could let go. Then I hated myself for wanting such a thing, followed by cursing that I was too weak to go through with it when the pain became too unbearable. Little by little, I wished I could at least hand my feelings away, let someone else hold on to that storm, so I could survive the next day. Things were not easy. The people of Rannai didn't know what to think of me when I returned from the Duke's mansion. It took time and effort to reintegrate. He gives the shrine a sideways glance. There's warmth and cheer there, but it's such a small ember in the middle of these woods. And even after all these years, people still don't know what to make of me. But still, I held on to the hope that you would come back someday. At least part of me did. If not you coming back, I hoped one day I'd receive a letter. I dreamt that maybe you were stuck somewhere with your father and needed help. When I felt secure that I could fend for myself, I even prepared for it. I wish you had told me what you were going through. God, Hector, I should have sent him a letter at least. Why did I close myself off? You idiot! Don't cry. Hold it in and take it all with dignity. Cadgan, you're such a fool. You still have every right to be angry at me. Maybe so. Perhaps I was fooling myself with all my hopes. But if they gave me the strength to get out of bed and face the day, was it bad? Everyone has hopes, assumptions, and lies they believe in. These were some of mine. Hope, an assumption. Like when I believed fate brought us together, that there was anything left in Oberlin for me to save. Even now I continue pushing on because I think that's what Dad would have wanted. But how could I possibly know that for sure? All those things we tell ourselves, wishing to be true, yet knowing there is no such thing as fate. That so much of our past is lost, clinging on to lies, refusing to say the truth. With that same look of profound peace, Cadgan looks up to the sky. Dude, I don't know how you could say fate doesn't exist. You met a literal fucking demon. You met a literal fucking demon. Everything is on the goddamn table now. That same look of profound peace, Cadgan looks up to the sky. Something changed a while before you arrived. As much as a part of me still wanted to see you, I hoped you wouldn't come. Not now. Much like you didn't want me to see you during the plague. In a way, I didn't want you to see me like this. Once more, he brushes his hair back, and in the lingering silence, I can't control myself. I have to know. What changed, Cadgan? I look down at his shirt, and it hits me. The armor. Is it the Duke? Cadgan almost closes his eyes, as if about to fall to sleep. The expeditions, Hector. The dark god sleeping in the depths of the valley. He raises his stiff hands, half open to 2 crescent moons. His slumber grows thinner and weaker with each trespassing. He commands each finger, one by one, to move, hands drifting further apart, 2 circles expanding outward around us. I was meant to be a priest of Rannai. I feel it in my bones, my skin, in each one of the layers you know so well. When I sleep and dream, when I plant my feet on the valley's soil, when I hear the whispers of the wind, I feel it so clearly. The barrier between us has been compromised. It's leaking out now, spreading its influence, threatening life itself. Perhaps this has been the case for longer than we imagine. You have not seen the horrors, Hector. You do not understand the valley and what it contains. Death itself is a merciful fate compared to what it can do. And should we survive its influence, though I know not what would be left of us to survive, God have mercy when the Inquisition comes to raze us to the ground. I did not want you in Rannai, not now of all times, and I did not want to give you a reason to stay, let alone to implicate you in this dark secret. I do love you, Hector, and I didn't want to see you pulled into this tragedy. But he does not finish his sentence. Cadgan remains frozen in that moment, slumbering almost. It's too late now, isn't it? It's too late now, isn't it? I know too much already. I regret letting you know about it, just as much as I regret that it was an absolute necessity. Now you know a secret that, on its own, puts your life at risk. If the Inquisition finds out, you will not be spared. At least you can understand the danger coming from the Duke's expeditions. I wish I could feel one and only thing at a time, but that's not what life had in store for me. Misery, complete and utter despair. I've seen Cadgan during his captivity in the Duke's mansion, but never did I see such profound pain in him. So that's why you rejected me? He wipes a tear. Yeah. God, I knew it had happened. When the Duke started looking for doctors abroad, I just knew that fate had chosen to play a cruel joke on us. You just had to come to Rannai at the worst possible time, didn't you? There was a drop of anger in his voice. I often heard it when we were younger, but since I returned, it had been absent. I even recognized this exact kind of fury. I felt it too during the plague. It's a wrath against the world itself. I didn't know. You didn't. It's not your fault, but I just... His hands contort to clawed weapons, trying to tear away the very air around us. The very idea that you could grow roots here, now of all times, made me sick. I cursed fate. I cursed this world and the times we live in. As much as I missed you and wished you'd stay, I wanted you to be free to leave before things became dire, before the Duke and his expeditions awakened the Dark God, and before we were all butchered by the Inquisition. I loathe the idea of anyone giving you reason to remain here, yet that is what I wished for the most. I hate the secrets I've had to keep. What other choices did I have? Back at the night of the festival, I'd have dropped everything to be with you, even Rannai if I could, but I couldn't. If the Valley's Dark God awakens, no life in the continent will be safe, and Dad and I are the last two priests of Rannai left. And now you too know Rannai's dark secrets. I'm left speechless as I think back to every event since I arrived to see it under a new light. My times with Cadgan, the rejection during the festival, and then Rannai. He doesn't want the god to awaken, or so he claims, but regardless, he's a shackle. He binds me here in exactly the same way Cadgan wanted to avoid. But even as it all dawns on me, even with my whole life as a coward stretching behind me, I can't bring myself to take the easy way out. I'm not leaving Cadgan. I'm not abandoning Rannai. I have friends here, memories, responsibilities. I work for the Duke, but I do it to help the people of this town. And I'm not abandoning you. Not when you need me the most. Even if I can't do much to stop the Duke, I can be here for you. In the same way you'd been there for me during the plague. Even if that puts your life at risk? So what? I've survived a plague. I already died once. I'm tired of not living. And Rannai is where I belong. Even if I have a duty towards Oberlin, this is where I... What am I saying? How can I have the gall to tell him all this when I already gave myself to a demon? And yet, my mouth just won't stop. I love you, Cadgan. I couldn't stop myself from loving you even after the festival. And it's true. Whatever I feel for Rannai, it all comes from my love for Cadgan, doesn't it? And the demon knows it. He never hid it. He didn't even trick me. His deal was honest and true. He wanted to feed on my heart. And in doing so, he mended me. Would I ever have had the courage and the presence of mind to confess to Cadgan about the plague had Rannai not pulled it out of me first? God, this is another cruel joke of fate. Fate pulled us apart, and now that it brings us together again, it's only after I've made a deal with the devil. The hell are you two talking about? We both turned to look at the shrine. Teresa is coming towards us. She must have been watching from afar for a while. Oh, nothing in particular. The weather. The Duke's fucked up hand. Your saggy tits. Right, Hector? I freeze to such a degree I could pass as a tree. My body stiffens as I prepare for Teresa's rage, but when I turn to look at her, all I see is an impressed smirk. Damn, Caddy, you had me fooled. Thought your words had lost their edge for good. Thought your words had lost their edge for good. Cadgan stands up from the swing with some difficulty, as though he'd forgotten just how long his legs are. He fixes his flannel shirt and looks back at Teresa. I'm angry. Is that a problem? Not at all. Be my guest. Say, is there any beer left? Arwell Bear is tearing through that barrel. You better hurry up. She then walks past Cadgan and throws an arm over my shoulder. Is she drunk? Her breath sure smells like it. Teresa, what the fuck? Yeah, she's drunk. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!